Hi Libra, here is a general look at your solar chart for July 2014, and here's the overview. Life is going to speed up, and it could be a little bit kind of packed with surprising energy, which means that you've got to be very flexible and keep your wits about you. And it's not what you know, but who you know and what you can achieve through who you know. And also probably you will achieve more with a little help from your friends. Some of those might be new friends, but old friends as well. And they might even be friends from a long way off, or who live a long way off, or you travel to where they are. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is cast your nets wide and connect with those from a distance and or those who are very unlike you, who've got a different skill set, a different background, a different slant on things. So you'll learn from them too. And this is very much a keynote, you know, learning from others, but others learning from you. It's a good time to beat the drum on something. There's more demand for you to get better organized with the piggy bank. Sorry about that. And other basic stuff which underpins everyday life, like possessions and property. That's happening probably more from late month. And then there's a new moon on the 26th, which heralds time for new beginnings through your group associations, through, across the wires, like the internet and networking and using, you know, taking advantage of that, making it work for you, and also, your contacts and so on. And this new moon is in that area there, and it will be particularly working for you in your favor over the coming 4 weeks from the time of the new moon on the 26th. But we've got some very important moves this month. We've got Mars moving out of your sign and going into the area of your piggy bank, where it's not been a piece of cake really for quite some time, astrologically speaking. And then there's been lots of challenge there, and also if not financially, then about stuff, you know, equipment, things, objects. But anyway, I digress. So we've got Mars moving into that area there, stirring it up, making it more dynamic and proactive, actually. And then we've got Jupiter coming out of its long cycle, and then he is going to be moving into Leo, and that's in a very good angle to your sun sign, very opportunistic. Libra. So two very influential, well, it's going to influence all the signs, but particularly the Jupiter one for you. Now, the long version. Until the 23rd, the solar energy is going to be in the area of the wider stage, taking your overall direction in life more seriously. So therefore, really aiming to achieve those targets and goals that you need to be, ticking off the list now as if it were that easy. But also, it might be like you care more about the image you're projecting, the impression that you're making. Also, you're caring more about the image others are projecting to you, or something else that's projecting to you, and how it's sitting with you and how impressed you are. Not much, but you know what I mean. So it's about those outer things, and presentation, you see, packaging. So that kind of thing will be on your mind, but also taking a responsibilities for your direction, for your professional obligations as well. Not just like in a parental way or in the way of a boss. Or somebody who is in authority taking their responsibilities more seriously, which this is about, but also being more aware of officials, bureaucracy, the small print, and all of that traditional sort of system speak. in our societies, and the overall idea is to, as I say, come across as well as you can, and be aware of reputation, and be aware of the impression that you're making, or something or someone is making on you. Now, you've had Mars in your sign for ages, and again, Mars is in your sign for most of the month, but this is the last little bit of it now, and so very much been the time to get the ball rolling, keep it rolling. And if you you know, just aren't in the mood that day and don't feel like it, is actually to still try and keep up with that ball that's rolling. There's a lot in this month which is quite progressive and future orientated, particularly in the last part of the month. So, but we've got a lot of Uranian energy coming across onto Mercury, well, onto the Moon, Mercury and Venus and Mars, the Sun and Mars in the early part of the month, Sun, Moon and Mars in the early part of the month. So you need to, as I say, keep your wits about you, because you've got to be flexible with the way life is coming at you, really, with Uranian energy around like that. Not get tense, you know. This amplification of the Mars, Sun, Uranus, a little bit of Pluto thrown in there as well, could mean you feel a bit tense. And expect the unexpected, you know, just expect it, but it's kind of going to be accelerated a little bit, and you need to just keep that not completely detached, open mind, but that sort of relaxed open mind, shall we say. You know, you could every now and again think, how am I going to manage to fit all this in, or whatever. So anyway, there's fresh ideas that are bubbling up, you know, in your mind all of the time. And for some of you, conditions related to place on the map, property, your space, somebody else's space, a venue, family matters, members of the family, neighborhood and members in the neighborhood. All of this could provoke change, could provoke a little bit of tension, could provoke the unexpected, you having to, as I say, be relaxed and as open as you can, but keep your wits about you. Now, Mars is going to move, and Mars is going to move into the area of the piggy bank, as I said earlier, stirring it up there. And so therefore you will be putting more effort, well, first of all, decisiveness into, okay, you know, I now can see what I need to do, and I just need to roll up my sleeves and get on with this. So this will help you to get more clarity and decisive, and then follow that up with getting organized, to feed the piggy bank, to sort out the equipment, to sort out the possessions, the property, property matters, looking at it from all angles round maybe, and anything to do with security, anything to do with, you know, the basic stuff of this world, like, you know, roof over the head, food in the belly, money on the table, that kind of thing. And that may mean that a more dynamic application of your talents and skills, Libra, you know, if ever there was a time, and you could be actually you could be quite successful with Mars here, as long as you're not hasty, as long as you don't get nervous and sort of shooting from the hip on something, and then, you know, putting your hand in your pocket and paying for something before you realize what you've done, or maybe underselling yourself in some way, or something that you're promoting, you know, and there could be tensions as you work through what needs to be done in a physical, material, financial sense. So that's not just to do with work, that's also to do with family and home and so on. And then whilst all this is going on, until mid-month, we've got Mercury and Venus in an area to do with those from a distance, or those traveling or travelers, and the distant horizon. And this is actually quite, you know, this is an area that will boost your spirits. I think you start feeling a bit more adventurous, particularly after the 16th, because that's when Jupiter moves and moves into quite a key position for you. It's it gives you lots of opportunities to capitalize on. So this is a great time, yes, for travel, or maybe not like that, maybe, or that will be the holiday season then, but just getting out of the box, you know, getting out of the daily grind and refreshing your mental palette by going off and doing something crazily different. It can be as simple as that. Or it's you rubbing shoulders with those from a distance, or those with a very different slant on things, a different culture, even a different language. It could be, you know, you communicating across a wider stage, getting the word out there, beating the drum on something, promoting something. So in this very progressive, quite adventurous, quite positive, really, energy, you being seen as the one with the information, the wisdom, maybe, you being seen as the guide, the advisor, or you connecting up with somebody who is just that guide, just that advisor, just that font of wisdom that you need. And Venus is going to be in there too, so you're likely to connect in a very friendly way, a very sort of pretty easy way with all of these sorts of people, and definitely getting an overview, getting a bigger picture, and you feeling valued and admired, I think, for your know-how, for your knowledge, but also you admiring somebody for theirs. And this is very positively highlighting anything to do with publications, education, and you'll be on quite a learning curve, I think. And then Mercury and Venus, well, Mercury moves first of all, and then discussions and ideas in your head will be centered around the same sorts of things as the Sun, you know, direction in life, how am I going to get there, you know, plotting the course on the map, as it were, as if life were that simple. But you see what I mean, like bigger concerns, bigger goals, maybe a new enterprise, maybe thinking about that, but keeping your ear to the ground, speaking with people who are in authority or officials, having to deal with more paperwork, also bosses, employers, but also those who can teach you a lot. And then Venus moves in there on the 19th, and then she oils the wheels. She tends to bring more favorable circumstances into that area there with authority figures, officials, and bosses and teachers and the like. And you know, there could be somebody that you hit it off with, who is in a position to really give you some key information, to really help you, facilitate you to achieve success. But also you yourself could be seen as the one who is the facilitator for somebody else's success. And so, you know, it could be a win-win situation. And then from the 23rd, the Sun moves into this very progressive area. As I said, it feels more progressive in the second part of the month. You know, the ball gets really sort of, you feel as though, oh, I've been waiting for this, and now it's kind of rolling it forward in the right direction. I'm feeling at last we can be getting on with this now. And networking or technology is also well highlighted. Anything to, you know, you might be using the internet more. And just a mention of Saturn. Saturn, of course, is still in this cycle of you having to make disciplined efforts to manage the piggy bank, but also useful resources like you know, possessions, equipment, your own talents. making the most of, you know, plant what you can plant in a pot or out there in the garden. Also making it more challenging to do with perhaps property matters. Maybe there's been a go slow, maybe you've been trying to rent something or sell something, or maybe you've been trying to let something out, you know, or buy something, and it's just been, you know, quite slow. Everything has been delayed, everything. And so anyway, Mars coming in here is really going to speed it up. And you, Librans born in the middle 10 days, or with 15 to 17 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And also Jupiter to end in conclusion. Jupiter is moving, and it's been in your area of career and overall life direction, you know, doors flying open, but not all leading to, you know, the best, down the best road for you, but giving you a wider range of options, really. But you've learnt an awful lot more about maybe red tape bureaucracy officials, the status quo, you know, the systems in this world through that. It's been there since last June. Jupiter's moving out of there on the 16th into this very progressive area for you, and you'll be making new associations, probably connecting up with people who've got an interest in common, you know, kindred spirits, and you will be expanding through them, or rather through their world, if it's you know, been around for a long time but you've only just discovered it, or indeed you could be making a whole new kind of group or association or circle yourself as well. But in some way the collective is going to be very, very beneficial for you, advantageous for you. That'll be over the wires as well, of course, the wires that go across the world, but it will be also maybe a small collective, like a nuclear family, a tribal sort of feeling as well. It can be like that, but there will be a lot of sharing of knowledge, so you can be seen as the teacher there. Not only will you be learning a lot through them, but they could be learning a lot through you. It depends on, you know, where you're at in your life and your age and so on. But this is really a cutting edge area, very much, and you can benefit a great deal from this. And I just want to say as well that in the last 10 days, Jupiter is going to be going across the sun. That's a super a positive, optimistic, dare say it's the energy of good fortune. So, you know, I don't usually stick my neck out and say you could have a bit of luck there, but you could. In fact, we all could. And depending on the angle of the sun onto your, the Jupiter onto your sun as well. But yeah, watch that space and try to put yourself in an environment where, you know, good things can happen. And yeah. So that's it for July. And if you know your rising sign and your moon sign, you can benefit. Well, it'll give you some extra bits to listen to those too. And also, if you want to check out anything I've said here, it's all written up on my website. And I'll see you the next time.